7 years ago, I was in Florence, Italy, and had an experience where I heard a word called sprogliere. Sprogliere is an Italian word meaning to uncoil. And I instantly felt this sense that that's what I needed to do, is to uncoil. So often when there are challenges with health and mental health and just all forms of wellness, one of the things that's happening is that we're uptight, we're wound tight, we're coiled in, we're wrapped in on ourselves, we feel enclosed, and we don't really know how to get out of that. So how do you get out of feeling all tight? And I was doing some work and I was doing some dancing. What is the feeling of uncoiling in my body? If tight is like this, what does uncoiling feel like? And I started moving, and then I started painting and doing some illustrations that were also this feeling of uncoiling. And I had this incredible sensation that the coil that was inside of me, that was all tangled up, was coming undone as I made the shape with my body, or as I made my shape with my pen. I felt like there was a red thread, a continuity from my internal space to the space on the page, and I could actually unravel this feeling for myself by bringing the energy that's stored inside and in my physical body and bringing it outside to the page or the paper or through my body motion. And I was doing this for a while and I had just received a series of bad newses. And you know, when you're in Italy, getting bad news is not fun. So I wanted to make myself feel better on the spot. And so I started doing this uncoiling. And then I was like, there's something else that was bugging me. And what was bugging me was what I saw at the Uffizi Gallery. And the Uffizi Gallery in Florence is such a delicious museum, right? Because it's a timeline, and you start at the Blessed Mother and you complete with the Blessed Mother, and you see the evolution of the feminine. Now, partway through, there is Botticelli's Venus. Now, there is no question that myself and many others have been drawn to Botticelli's Venus painting. I had a print of it, and it was just like, oh, the goddess, oh, Venus. And however, something happened for me when I was standing there. I became furious because I realized that inside of this painting was a level of misogynistic, violent mythology regarding women. And I just had this moment where there was like this gratitude that this painting still exists because it made it through the bonfire of the vanities, because the Medicis and people hid it. Even Botticelli burned a lot of his own work. So I was like grateful for this enormous mythological painting. And then I was simultaneously furious that this, one of the most famous images of the feminine in the whole world that's connected with sensuality, is actually a violent image. I'm not going to get into the details. I'll just say there's some really violent things in there and some really gross things in there too. And like this had come to represent this image of feminine beauty, and then even learning that the model for that was actually a man, a young boy. And then we went on from Florence to Porto Venere, and I remember just figuring out that it's the port of Venus, and went to the old Venus temple, only now it was a Christian temple. I was like, does anybody here even know who she is? And I asked an old fisherman in the village, why is it named Porto Venere? And he said, because of the goddess rising. And I was like, okay. But anyway, the whole experience just stirred so much in me about wanting to invite women to create their own Venus, their own diva self. And I put X for so many reasons. X like a question mark. X like X-rated if we choose. X like it's up to us. We get to choose. We don't know. We get to pick who our Venus is for ourselves, who our diva is for ourselves, and to reclaim our image for ourselves. So that developed a whole curriculum for working with her. I've only taught it for a couple, I think I've maybe done it 3 times, DIVA X. And so this is DIVA X 2.0, and you were invited to come, and we're going to be working with, if not the full body from the top of the head to the bottom of the feet, at least the face, the breasts, the vulva, the hips. We're going to be making our own Venus because we need to choose the diva self for ourselves. No one gets to define that except us. So let's paint. Let's connect with DIVA X. Shall we?